Let me ask you a question. Would you like to see more weapons in Counter-Strike Global Offensive? Your answer might depend on several factors. New guns can tip the scale of game balancing massively. Too many guns make it hard to balance a game and lead to over- and underpowered equipment. A negative example might be Counter-Strike Nexon Zombies. As soon as you get the M14, you won't play anything else. Another factor in answering that question might be the simple desire for more. I can't blame you, there are some pretty cool guns out there. Or you might have seen our cut content of Counter-Strike series and are wondering why is there a Scar L in the logo but not in the actual game. No matter what you would answer, let's make a little thought experiment today. The M4 and the AK are with no doubt the main rifles of the game. So before we start the thought experiment, we'll compare some of their properties, in-game and in real life.
I actually have the opportunity to shoot the AK47 from CSGO, which is actually an AKM, and this is an original AKM. Actually, most AKs you see out there are AKMs. The original ones with milled receivers are very rare. Of the counter-terrorists, the M4A1 or M4A4, this one actually an AR-15. Well, a scope, unlike Counter-Strike, but it's kind of like back to the early betas where the gun actually had a scope, like the AUG or SG552. So, let's take a look.
These are some stats of CSGO rifles. When comparing the M4s to the AK, it will become apparent that due to the lighter weight, the movement speed is higher when carrying an M4, and that the damage of the AK is higher than the M4s. The weight of the AK varies a lot from model to model. Like I mentioned previously, the AK47 in CSGO is actually modeled after an AKM, which is around 1 kilo lighter than the original AK47 due to the use of stamped metal parts. But it is still heavier than the M4, especially old versions which utilize wooden parts. Why the AK packs a bigger punch becomes clear when comparing the ammunition. We have an AK round on the left side and an M4 round on the right side. While the AK fires the bigger bullet and thereby packs the bigger punch, the M4 can shoot more accurate over distance because the lighter bullet will not drop as fast as the heavier AK round. And the whole precision thing is represented in the game by different spray patterns. And that's the point where I want to transition to the little thought experiment. But before I go to it, let me answer a question that came up last time. Which gun do I like better, AK or AR-15/M4? No idea. Honestly, I can't decide. The AK wins the style factor for me. It's an absolute classic and it's in almost every game. The other side, the AR-15, has just the nicer handling. It is lighter and has in general the better comfort, so it's a 50-50 for me. And on the other hand, German guns are better anyways. I'm already looking for the comments. When I was at the firing range, an idea crossed my mind, and I later discussed it with a few friends. What if the terrorists get a replacement for the AK? Just like the counter-terrorists who can switch between the A1 and the A4. I proposed the idea to some guys, and most of them said, nice idea, but what kind of replacement? The guy whose gameplay you're seeing often on this channel suggested, why not take an AK74? It is not widely different from the AK47, but it still has some distinct different features. It is lighter, depending on who you ask, it has a higher rate of fire, and smaller ammunition, and thereby slightly less damage. In essence, it is more comparable to the M4A4 of CSGO. I proposed the idea of the AK74 as a gun comparable to the M4A4 to several others, and I got positive responses for the most part. With one player pointing out that it would be nice for newer players who have difficulties handling the AK47 spray pattern. I thought that was a good point, cause you know, Counter-Strike is a game easy to learn but hard to master. And others just said, some well-made variety would be cool, but please no R8 revolver. A counterpoint I got was them pointing to games like Counter-Strike Online. In CS Online 2 the problem is not that significant, cause different gun designs are more or less just skins of the regular guns. So what do you guys think? Should the terrorists in CSGO get an alternative to the AK-47? Something like the AK-74, so essentially a lighter, more accurate AK with less damage? Or should they get something more along the lines of the M4A1S? My friend Buddies, with who I recorded the recent podcast, said he would like to see the cut unscoped SG552. I am really curious what you guys think, cause I haven't made up my mind yet. On the upper right hand corner of the video you will find a polling tool regarding the question if there should be an AK47 alternative in the first place. For that and all other discussions, I would like to invite you to voice your opinions and proposals for alternatives in the comment section down below. So see you guys in the comment section. Till then, have a nice day and as always, goodbye and guten Tag.